Okay, we are at what I'm gonna label a historic home here in Northwest Bend. It has so much cute curb appeal and, seemingly feels like it's got a lot of potential, but you can't be afraid of a project walking into this one, or quote historic homes. But it's a nice sized lot. You are on busier Portland Avenue, and you can decide whether that is a bad thing or not to you. And I don't know, I think it's typically ends up being a desirable thing at the end of the day. But the exterior of this home, I think actually is in pretty decent condition given its age. It is from the 1920s, which would make it definitely one of the oldest homes here in Bend. When you're inside, you can definitely see some settling that's happened, but we've got this old wood lap siding, clearly stone foundation here, which is the original build. And then the house moves into a more modern part on the back end, which is, I believe, considered the ADU part of this house, and is a more modern build. Of course, newer windows. We've got gutters all around, and some fun period type design. Let's keep checking it out. Got a huge pine tree in the front, some paver patios. I've definitely noticed some sprinkler systems installed, and then these are wood frame windows, but they are double pane. This would be considered the backyard. I think in order to get a little bit more privacy, you'd want to fence. But there is a decent sized yard involved here. And multiple ways to get in and out of this house. Counted at least 5 doors, maybe 6. So walking around the back here. All right, so heading on in. Got original wood flooring. This is more like an entryway or sunroom type area. Of course, we can see signs of cracking all around from settling that's happened. And these are certainly not drywalled walls. Guessing this is probably more of a lath and plaster type situation. There's some forced air heating, and got a pellet stove to an original chimney here, but a nice sized great room. And believe it or not, it is actually really quiet in here given the location. All right, in the kitchen area here. And this is something that someone would want to redo, reconfigure, but it does provide a nice open space and opportunity for that. Okay, this I'm gonna call a bedroom. What do we think, Vivian? Is this a bedroom?
I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna call this a bedroom. And we've got an exit here, lots of closet type space, and one full bathroom. Main level here, but we're gonna go a few stairs down to, all right, so we've gone down a couple stairs, and then there's a basement down there that we'll check out in a minute. 100% some very old electrical. It definitely has some minor label permits, but I don't know what to say about that being original. I'm guessing it's had some updates, but I'm also guessing that's not from the 1920s. So here's another entrance. And then I think if it were me, I would treat this area as the primary. So this would be like the primary closet. And then of course we're sitting on a slab foundation. So doing something about that would be necessary. But nice vaulted ceilings. I love the windows and privacy in here. We've got some extra cadet heating. And I was 100% wrong about this being the ADU attached It's actually out here somewhere. So, oh, right here. Okay, so this is the ADU, I think. Yep. Okay, so actually, so like here's a garage type space, right? With newer electrical. And then here we go. This is the ADU. So we don't have a ton of square footage in here. It is not permitted, but it does provide some additional income potential, office workspace, any of the above. That sleeping loft is not one that someone could stand up in, but it's a place to lay your head. All right, so this is a nice fenced yard area, and that's Portland in that direction. And we'll head back inside to see the remainder of the house. All right, heading down to the basement. You can see all the original foundation. It's probably about 6 foot high. Makes it easy to do some plumbing and electrical work though in this part of the house. So storage, but it does have a newer furnace. And then we'll head all the way back up and around and to the upper level. Back on the main level, coming around to the upstairs, which is considered another bedroom. And potentially more storage space, but I do think highest and best would be making this all one floor, one level. And this is probably the scariest part of the house with the chimney leaning that way. But for me, I would just eliminate that. Have an engineer confirm that everything's in good enough shape in terms of settling and foundation, and call it a day there. Oh, a lot of air, light coming through that. And a bathroom here. Bathroom with no sink. Oh, sink here. There we go. So that's the lay of the land in this house. So we just toured this 1920s single family home and unpermitted ADU, thinking location wise could make a great midterm rental, long-term rental, house hack. Definitely needs some love and configuration, so you'd have to be pretty ambitious and have pretty deep pocketbook, but I think it's one we could potentially negotiate on. It's been on and off the market for a couple years, different price points. They're getting more realistic, but definitely has to come down to make it work.